Hey Taurus, this is your January 2025 soul story. If you have a sun, rising, or moon in the sign, this is your reading. Welcome to a new year and welcome to my channel. It's Romy here. We are going to open up this month for you with the energy of the Two of Wands, and it's definitely fair to say that I think later into the month you're in the mood to stir things up a little bit, but for the first couple of weeks of January there is this need to just find your flow, find your rhythm, and really just continue this reflective process to enable you to kind of let go and clear out of the previous year. Now you've got the world in your hands here, so there's something really valuable, important that you're holding on to, and I think there's a part of you wondering, what more is there to life? What more is there for you? You're very hungry to learn more, to improve your life, your circumstances, your knowledge, but there's also this awareness that the distractions around you are very real. They're urgent, at times chaotic, and this can create that kind of conflict within you where you may want to be somewhere or doing something with someone, and then you've got the reality check. And so in that first couple of weeks, we've got a lot of water energy coming through that can just kind of help you make sense of where your emotional position is regards things, right? Vesta in Scorpio from the 2nd, and she's really promoting this profound transformational healing experience. Remember, Chiron now shifted direct as well at the end of December. We also have Venus moving into Pisces on the 3rd of the month, and you're really taking some time to figure out whether you're still in love with something, or whether, you know, perhaps you've been overly romanticizing it, or maybe it's time to just explore something completely new. And of course we've got the Mars retrograde energy now taking a shift into the sign of Cancer from the 6th of the month, and there's definitely a reevaluation going on for you. You've been thinking about how you've been emotionally handling different situations where perhaps you need to have a little bit stronger boundaries in place. There's also a deep sensitivity which can be super helpful on an intuitive level to really get to the heart of things for you, but it can also make some of the conversations that you have like you're walking on eggshells a little bit. Tendency for some passive aggressive energy can also come up, and with everyone sort of having that proverbial energetic hangover in the beginning part of January, just be mindful that perhaps a quiet counsel is going to be more beneficial for you, particularly around the plans and ideas that you're thinking about. Nonetheless, I think you're surprising yourself and others in January, and the turning point comes around that full moon in Cancer on the 13th. There's something that wants to lift you up and out of your current energetic mindset or the position or circumstances that you find yourself in. Your energy feels different. There's a marked kind of note that you feel yourself, but also people around you are noticing with you as well. You know, life humbles us time and time again, and in the growth, I think there becomes this realization that simplicity is so much more attractive. You want less complicated, and you need things that are really feeling like they are nurturing, nourishment, food for the soul, if you like. So the full moon in Cancer says, you know what, I want to let go of what feels overcomplicated. Maybe you yourself have been overcomplicating a situation, and yes, plans are still underway, and perhaps they've got less detail than they've ever had before, but at the same time that can make you more adaptable. It can create more fluidity in your life, and I think you're realizing the merit of that specifically in this month of January. There is this feeling though of things being stirred up, and perhaps in and around you people are also stirring things up, and therefore that 8 of Swords is also a reactionary response to perhaps what is being said or actions that are being taken around you as well. That can feel a little bit frustrating, and if you do have some real decision fatigue right now, if you feel like things are too unclear, then just place it down until such times as you get that moment of clarity and you know what to say or what to do in the moment. Again, I feel like as you're moving through Capricorn season. Remember, it's that ninth house energy for you, and there's something about your hunger and your learning to want to know, how do I respond to this differently? How can I genuinely take a higher path for myself? How do I show myself and others that I'm not the person that I was, and I'm not the person that they're trying to make me be? I can be something completely new, something that feels more in alignment and really helps me to set the tone. And I think this idea about setting the tone for yourself for the year that's set to unfold ahead of you also is really important to you. You're not setting unrealistic expectations on yourself, but you're definitely making some really important promises. Two of Cups, Two of Wands. You see these decisions and choices that sort of hang in the balance at the moment. Feel like they're also very timely. You're very ready for something. There's been a degree of expansion where you have come to a place where there's like, oh, I've really outgrown this. Maybe you've outgrown a relationship, maybe you have outgrown your job or where you live, but there's just something and it needs to be addressed, and it will be, right? It will be, but we don't want to pile on too much on our plate in this month of January, because there's still this need to kind of just figure out where you're landing and where you're at. There's a huge amount of synchronicity coming in, and I do actually think that somebody perhaps shows up for you in a way that was unexpected and really will be quite beautiful for you, perhaps at a time when you really need it most, or you're actually feeling a little bit unsupported. Or there's a sense of feeling like you're surprised or almost a bit doubtful about certain people's agendas or the behavior that's been going on. So someone stepping forth in your circle, maybe they're very known to you, or maybe they feel like they've been more of an acquaintance, but they're about to step up and become much more of a regular sort of feature in your life, because they have something to add that feels, really transparent, really authentic, and really selfless. And it just kind of helps you. It helps you to see the qualities in yourself that you want to display more and more, and just reminds you that actually when you hang around with people that just feel good for you, your vibration naturally lifts, and there's just like this effortless quality to it. Six of Wands suggests to me that there's also this need to understand like recognition, like where is that coming from? And you've perhaps got a few different things that are going on and percolating in your mind, but also situations in your real life right now. And if you think about it and you go a little bit deeper into it, perhaps what you might discover this month, Taurus, is that some of it is coming from this place of wanting to be validated, needing to be recognized, wanting to be understood or to be seen. And so if you can understand perhaps where some of the wound energy is talking, I think what you're preparing for, some of you may have already feel like you've gone through it, but there is this major significant kind of almost like ego death that's surfacing and kind of preparing you to really release something of the old you, the old identity, the old self. But at the heart of the feels like this driver to say like this needs to be recognized. And I suppose my question to you is, to what degree do you give it recognition? To what degree can you call it out and celebrate it and acknowledge it and praise it and champion it and believe in it and honor and respect it? Because if you're not doing that in a really powerful, impactful way, then it's not the type of energy you're then going to be attracting or drawing towards you from the universe or from other people into your experience. I also think with the Six of Wands, that announcement, that sharing of news, that sense of like accomplishment, perhaps connected into a relationship, an agreement, something also coming in that second part of the month. Perhaps as we approach the new moon in Aquarius arriving on the 29th, we'll also have Mercury shifting into the sign the 27th. We've got the Lunar New Year as we welcome in the energy of the wood snake. Eight of Pentacles coming through here. Of course, the big news is also going to be Uranus stationing direct in your sign. The same day Sun trines with Jupiter and brings this kind of auspicious nature to events, surprising events that feel like they come in. And again, are reminding you of the questions that you were asking early on in the month, which is, what more is there for me? what more do I want? And then I think what happens is this realization when we recognize and we talk about the credit, the validation, and you kind of make sense of that in some regard through the month. By the time you get to the end of January, you're super clear on what you want to invest in, super clear. And that's really going to be very helpful for you, particularly for those of you that then are really in a consideration around work and career and sort of what happens next, and reflecting on sort of what has brought you to this point, what ambitions are still untapped, or just whatever impact you're still feeling like you want to make, or goals or projects that are important or that matter to you. But this idea of like where you want to invest and what you want to dedicate yourself to feels like really soothing for you. And so as Uranus comes in and sort of maybe again has this stirring up energy a little bit, sometimes we're then able to see more clearly and accept more easily why certain things have happened, because it just helps us to see something that perhaps we wouldn't have seen before, and to really maybe get an idea and say, actually, you know what, I didn't really like this anyway, or I wasn't really on board with this idea, or yes, actually this did really matter, and now this has made it even more clear for me that it matters. So the sensitivity that flows, particularly in the first part of January, but all the way through the month, helping you get in touch with how you are emotionally feeling, and more importantly how you're emotionally handling things, which then affects your experience of them both in the here and the now, but also in moving forward. And this mastery that's sort of coming in a powerful, positive way. Now, the plans that you're making by way of that Two of Wands, the value that you're holding on to in regards to something, definitely feels like it's on a powerful trajectory, even though there is a little bit of stress and challenge that comes along with it. That Eight of Pentacles tells me that there's something materially improving in your world by you following your instinct, your gut, and just kind of knowing that this is actually the right path for you at this time. Okay, maybe it will not be something that will always be right for you, but there's also this recognition of like, I've got to kind of land where I am, and I've got to deal with what I've got going on. And perhaps that's the way, if you like, that you marry this idea of where you want to be and also accept the distractions of the kind of reality of what is around you. And so that conflict can be something that in fact ends up motivating and being something that you can use and harness to be able to sort of leverage and transmute and alchemize energy in a really good way. So I like how the end of the month sort of powers up something in you, sparks something in you. And there's a lot of passion that comes through in January, right? You know, we've got Venus in Pisces from the 3rd. You've got your Two of Cups showing up here. Venus trining Mars on the 25th. Look out for that day. A lot of passionate conversations and interactions can happen in a way that feels, okay, we're doing this. And again, you know, I've said this in other readings. I think there's this sense of like how the winds of fate are sort of lifting you, and, you know, at the end of the month just saying, okay, like this is the ride that we're taking, you know, are you getting on board? And that sort of spontaneity feels like it is something that you are in fact ready for. If you're new to the channel, our last 3 cards we look at in the extended readings, so we're going to cover that. You can find the link in the comment and description box underneath. We'll also look at a personal and a relationship card for you there as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and look at the clarifying cards for us, see the direction we're taking that. Look out also for the 21st. You know, we've got a Pluto Cazimi as it conjuncts with the Sun, and there's this real trigger point coming through. You know, we lean into some aspect of the shadow self. Perhaps there's a challenge or something powerful that is initiated, but as a result of it, we get it. We see it, we understand it. And if we're not afraid to face it, then what's on the other side of it is quite remarkable. 8 of Swords brings in the 3 of Wands, and we also have the energy of transformation, of death coming through here. We've got 9 of Cups, the Queen of Air showing up here as well. Reminds me of Pallas Athena with her owl there. You know, the asteroid goddess energies can always help you to decipher the stories, and you can check out my goddess reports over on the website, along with my sacred titles. Many of you have been receiving your journals over the holiday season. I hope you're enjoying them. Do let me know. Also my oracle deck and my book Moon Musings. You can find all the details over on the website, so please do check it out. These are going to be really important tools to help you work through your spiritual journey in 2025 and beyond. Okay, let's have a look at Life Soul Vision Oracle to just join this cosmic conversation for Taurus for January. What do we have here? Casting out constellations. We've got the wishing tree coming through there along with the 9 of Cups. That's why I'm saying there's something sweet coming through in the month of January. Earth, medicine and magic. Portals of possibility. We've got the gathering, and we've got sacral energy, creative charge. Beautiful. Okay, we are going to look at a unicorn oracle for Taurus for January. What do we have for you? Not a flame, creativity. It feels very in alignment with that sacral. Okay, we're going to leave it there. I hope you'll join me for the extended reading. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful month. You take good care of yourselves. I appreciate you tuning in. Bye for now, Taurus.